So here we are on this beautiful day, July 25th, 2019. I'm sure there's a lot of people watching this video today who have friends and family members who judge you. People who say you're too negative, who say you're paranoid. These same people who tell you that the American economy could never collapse, the US dollar could never collapse. These same people, probably most of these people can't even spell Deutsche Bank, don't know where Deutsche Bank is, know nothing about it. They don't know what a meltdown means. They don't know what a bail-in means, what a bailout means, or what a bank run means. They don't understand the manipulation of markets. They don't understand these cartel organizations. We have one of the biggest banks in Europe right now melting down. And now the news even gets more serious as another big bank in China is about to go down. Yet, these people call you negative, paranoid, a fearmonger. Yet these are going to be the same people who are going to run to your house the minute when all hell breaks loose. These same people will be begging you to protect them. They'll be begging you for food or water. So while your friends and family members are out partying, you need to continue to prepare. And we need to really focus on our plan. And it's time to stop worrying about everybody else, because this thing is really ramping up, and it's ramping up quickly across the globe. Beijing Bank bit the dust in May, and the Chinese government had to take it over. Now, we have the Bank of Jinzhou, which has $100 billion in assets. This bank is about to be taken over by the Chinese government. This will be the second bank since May to be taken over. There is a massive list of Chinese banks that have not disclosed 2018 annual reports. Why is that? Because these banks are in big trouble and they're not disclosing. The Chinese government does not want to disclose how bad the banking system is in China. What effects is this going to have on the global economy? It could have very massive effects. It is yet to be seen, but we're seeing a meltdown occurring right now in the Chinese banking system. So think about Deutsche Bank with $49 trillion of derivatives, $1 billion a day being pulled out. They're having a bank run. Deutsche Bank is in meltdown mode right now. And now we're seeing multiple banks in big trouble in China. And we all know that the banks here in America are not safe, that the banks here in America have manipulated and cooked books, that we're going to see big trouble in our own banking sector right here. And I'm making this video today to remind you to continue to prepare. So as we begin to witness these meltdowns taking place across the globe in the banking sector, whether it be in Europe or China, and we are going to see our own meltdown right here in America, because I can promise you that the banking system in America is not as healthy as you've been told. We've had a lot of cooking of the books, we've had a lot of manipulation, and we've had a lot of cheap, easy, free money that has propped up these banks and these balance sheets. But as things continue to evolve, as we continue to watch this meltdown, you need to be your own central bank. You need to be protecting yourself, and you need to be very, very concerned with the times we are heading into. I thoroughly believe the recession has started. I believe we are in a recession right now. And as we go further into this recession, you need to make sure that you get as far out of debt as possible. Credit cards are a killer. They will make you a debt slave. If you have credit cards, get rid of them, or maybe keep one for an emergency. Pay it off immediately. But there's no reason why you need 5 or 10 or 15 credit cards. You're witnessing the highest rates on credit card interest right now in history. Credit card interest rates are the highest they have ever been in history. And you would think that this would deter people from using them. I see people that have 21, 22, 23+% interest rates on their credit cards, and they're using them. We are in a recession. This economy is bogging down and people are burying themselves with debt. And one of the primary ways of doing it is by credit cards. Credit card companies are charging the widest spread above the Fed's fund rate ever. Consumers are getting absolutely screwed. And if you're one of these people, you need to cut these cards up right now and stop using them, because people are getting themselves into massive, massive trouble with these credit cards. Personal interest payments are racing higher at the worst possible time. That being, we are in a recession right now, and we could be heading into a depression. You do not want to have this kind of debt hanging over your head. Second quarter credit card debt accelerated even more. Revolving debt is up 8% in May compared to April. So it's just unbelievable. And so many people are forced to use credit cards because they're broke. They're working paycheck to paycheck. They don't have the money. They have an emergency. They got to use the credit card. They get a flat tire, got to use the credit card. Kid falls down, needs 10 stitches, got to use the credit card. The car won't start, need a battery, got to use the credit card. People, they're going shopping at the grocery store using the credit card because the paycheck that they use to pay the rent or the mortgage and the car payment, it's all used up. And now you got to eat. So how do you do that? Use the credit card. So we can look at this in two different ways. People are charging up these credit cards in massive amounts because the economy is booming, which I don't think that's true. Or the economy is not booming and people are living paycheck to paycheck and they're forced to go deeper into debt just to keep their head above water. Fact is, 58% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. A large portion of the American population are at the edge of very big trouble. 27% of adults would need to borrow or sell something to pay for a $400 expense. 25% of adults in America have absolutely zero saved up for retirement. So what's going to happen when these people eventually retire? Now, they're probably going to have to work till they're 90 to do it. But I see the quality of life for many Americans down the road here getting very, very bad. I think that the standard of living for many Americans in the next 10 years is going to change drastically. And this is why I'm so concerned about what people are doing. I'm concerned about my own life and my own future. And this is why I make these videos, because I like to think out loud and talk to everybody out there. And I like to get people's opinions. I read the comments, as many as I can. And as I've said time and time before, there are so many intelligent people that watch these videos and comment down below that I learn so much. I get so many ideas, whether it's prepping or financial or geopolitical. It really educates me and makes me think outside of the box. And you're going to get a lot just from reading the comments down below, much more than you are out of this video, because there are so many intelligent people out there, way more intelligent than me. I'm just making a video today, thinking out loud, sharing with you my thoughts. But the real smart people are in the comments down below. And it's just really encouraging to know that there are great true Americans out there, that there are people so awake and thinking so far out of the box. And it really reinforces my beliefs, and it will reinforce your beliefs, that there are some really intelligent, awake people in America that we cannot give up quite yet, because there are too many well-rounded, educated, awake, incredible Americans out there who still love this country and are going to come together and do whatever they have to do to survive, and do whatever they have to do to continue to keep this country alive. And so if you get a chance, read the comments down below. There's just some really, really incredible people. And I think all of us can learn a lot by listening to what other people have to say. We are looking at severe recession signs right now. And to the person out there who's got a 9-to-5 job, they're working in a cubicle, they're working a construction job, they're working a tech job, they're working in the legal field, whatever it may be, and your life is going well, what happens when it isn't? What happens when that job's not there? You can't ignore what is happening around you, because sooner or later it's going to affect you. And when you're no longer sitting in that cubicle, you're no longer at that construction job, what are you going to do? What do you fall back on? Recession signs, we've got many of them, and nobody is going to be able to debate the facts. And these people just are oblivious and in denial to the facts. They don't want to hear about it because it's scary. But that blows my mind, because it's like, if you know a major tornado is coming and it's going to be here in 1 hour, how many of you would just sit in your house and just hope it doesn't happen, it just goes away, or it's just a bad dream? How many of you would just go into now? I would be packing everything I needed, and I would be getting the hell out of Dodge as fast as I could, because I'm a realist. I live in the real world. I don't stick my head in the sand like so many people in America are doing. But let's go over these recession signs. We have an inverted yield curve. Okay, that's a big one. The U.S. economy is slowing. Fact. Manufacturing is way down. Fact. The transportation sector, way down. And when we talk about the transportation sector, like the case freight index, truck, rail, air, ship, this is like the lifeline to a country. This is like veins in your body with blood flowing through it. When you take trucking, rail, air, and ship, this is like veins in your body, veins of a country. Blood must be flowing through the veins to keep your body alive, just like the blood must be flowing through the veins of a country to keep it alive. And the veins and the blood are truck, rail, air, and ship. And unfortunately, all these sectors are slowing. And when you don't get enough blood flowing into your body, you die. When you don't get enough trucking, rail, air, and shipment flowing through your country's economy dies. And so we're seeing a slowdown. This is unhealthy physically for your body, and this is unhealthy economically for your country. Households are taking on huge debt, getting charged 22, 23, 24% on credit cards, gambling with these cards. Wow, the signs are all over the place. Just take a look around. The writing is on the wall. I'm giving you the facts. I'm giving you the latest statistics. Go drive into your urban cities. Go drive around and see the homeless. I'm going to tell you, I went to lunch today in Indio at a casino. By the way, I met a truck driver who watches the show, came up to me. I didn't catch his name, watches the show every day. If you're watching this, it was a pleasure meeting you today. But he just reinforced everything I'm telling you. I asked him, how is the trucking business going? He drives a big rig. He was there for lunch. He says, it's just like I've been saying. It is bad. It is slowing down. It's horrible. He told me that he had a friend up in that had a run up in Northern California. I think he runs north down to this area, and literally getting paid half of what he was making last year. Half. So that's coming right from the mouth of a semi truck driver who's shipping. This guy was shipping from the desert out to Arizona and back. That's his route. But this is coming right from the truck driver's mouth of what's happening, at least here in the West. It is massively slowing down. So it was good to see you today. A pleasure meeting you. And, thank you for the update. And it's just as we've been saying, it is slowing down. But as it is slowing down, people continue to live life like a party, using the credit cards, buying stuff that you don't need, driving cars, with a special emblem to impress people you don't even know, to impress friends, living in a big house when you don't need a big house. This is not the time to be gambling. This is a time you better be conservative, a time that you better be holding assets. You don't need to be holding 2 extra bedrooms that you don't use in your house. You need to be holding hard assets, because a major economic storm is coming to America, and this is the time to be preparing. We don't know if we have a year, we don't know if we have a month, we don't know if we have 10 years, but I think truly in my heart that we are much closer, and we're getting closer every day to some very serious events that are coming to America, whether they be social, political, economical. I believe we're going to see all these events happening at the same time. Social, political, and economic events happening at the same time, and people will be taken by surprise when they should not have been taken by surprise. The writing is on the wall, but what I want to get back to is before I got to my lunch there in India, where I met this gentleman, coincidentally, I passed some homeless people that were just, sleeping out under an overpass in India. They had a tent there. They're there, every week when I go by that area. And it's just a sign of things to come. We're going to see more homelessness in America. And these people living paycheck to paycheck, these people that don't have $1,000 saved up, people that don't have $400 saved up, how far do you think they are from being out there in a tent on the streets of America? I don't want to see that happen to my worst enemy. I'm here to tell every one of you to wake up if you haven't already woke up. If you're not preparing enough, you need to be preparing more. Make sure all preps are topped off, mainly security. Security is going to be a big one here, ladies and gentlemen. And right now, while your devalued U.S. paper fiat monopoly money currency actually buys something, you should be buying hard assets while they are on a blue light special, because it is going to be the only thing worth anything when this emergency hits America. Another reason why the U.S. dollar will collapse, why it's going to be worth zero, why the U.S. economy is going to collapse, I'm going to tell you why. Debt ceiling suspended until July 2021. We added another $321 billion to what we've already spent. So you have a $1.3 trillion deficit. Do you know how much it's going to cost just to service $1 trillion? Fact, tax revenue is declining. More spending, less revenue equals bigger deficits, which equates to a slower economic growth. You think things are going to get better in America? You're wrong. You're drinking the Kool-Aid. You're in a coma. You need to wake up. The American Legislative Exchange Council estimated the pension funding gap to be nearly $6 trillion in this country. We're going to have a massive crisis when there is a run on the pensions. You want to see chaos in America? Wait till the pensions collapse, and they're going to. Pensions are guaranteed by the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation. The PBGC is slated to run out of money by 2025. You think your pension's safe? You getting ready to retire in 10 years? You think it's going to be there? You think most of your pension is going to be there? You'll be lucky if you get half of it. You'll be lucky if you get any of it. The PBGC right now today is already bust. So who's going to bail out the pensions? Well, the government wants you to bail out the pensions, America, just like you bailed out the automakers and you bailed out the banks. We have a very unsolvable problem here. And just a few of the reasons why it's unsolvable is this. We have a decline in the savings rate. We have an aging demographic. We have an indebted economy, debt to GDP above 100%. We have a slowing domestic growth. We have underemployed younger demographic. We have a weak industrial production. And on top of all that, ask yourself this: who is going to buy all of this debt? Some people might say, we'll buy the debt. But how do you buy the debt when you've printed so much money, you've devalued your currency, the US dollar, into zero? So I'm going to leave it right there today. I wanted to kind of share some of the latest facts with everybody out there and why I think it's so important to take some of that monopoly money that still can buy something. While it can still buy something, why not buy something that's on sale, something that's never going to be worth zero? I have a link down below, SD Bullion. I'll be making my own personal order from SD Bullion this week. But if you need a recommendation to a great company, I highly recommend SD Bullion, link down below. In my opinion, this stuff is on sale. It will never be worth zero. There's going to be volatility, no doubt about it. We're going to see it go up a little, come down a little bit. But you have to look at it this way. When you buy precious metals, buy it, put it away, don't think about it. This stuff is here for you as a life jacket, as an insurance policy, that when this economy collapses, you're going to have the only thing worth anything, and that's going to be gold and silver. Of course, yes, food, water, and things like that, security, clothes. Yeah, I get it. But think about when the dust settles and we get back to a monetary policy. Do you want to be holding paper, or do you want to be holding metal? Do you want to be holding the two metals that have been here for over 5,000 years, that have never been worth zero, that are never going away? That is God's money. I can tell you, in my humble personal opinion, my truthful, God-honest opinion, there is nothing better to be holding than gold and silver during this event, before this event, during this event, and after this event. God bless every one of you. Thanks for watching. Make sure we are praying for this country. We had some very serious times coming, but they're going to be exciting times, and we're going to be prepared for it. God bless you.